David, as you said, though, in the 1 minute before we come back, quickly, I'd say Obama has 2 or 3, 4 months when he first gets in till people wake up to that phase of the illusion. So they want to start a big war or a biological release or a financial collapse. What do we do to expose this guy and stop him being able to carry the ball for the New World Order in the first few months?
Well, what we've got to do is keep whacking this information out, and people who are listening to this information, don't be a cul-de-sac for information. When you receive the information, there is a responsibility. Pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. By word of mouth, you can inform vast numbers of people very quickly if enough people do it. That's what we need to do.
You're right, and we have incredible power, but we better use it now because they are planning to shut down the old web. The inventor of the web said a few days ago that quote, it's going to die. They're letting it die. It's being killed. So we need to move right now. Folks, we're coming out of this break with only PrisonPlanet.tv viewers and Infowars.com exclusive stream listeners tuning in, though we do have tens of thousands tuning in on the free streams and quite a few watching on PrisonPlanet.tv. We're coming out right now with David Icke with your calls. Here we go.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
The New World Order, with its programmers, admit that they're colonizing our minds, our souls. They are keeping us weak, confused, dumbed down, infighting. But the awakening is happening. David Icke, amazing guest, is our guest right now. DavidIcke.com is the website. We'll put that up on screen. Let's go to Ryan, first-time caller from Georgia. You're on the air with David Icke.
Yes, how you doing, Alex? First off, I just really want to tell you I'm very appreciative of just waking me up and informing me of all the information that's currently going on. And second, I just really want to say, by far, I've been wanting to say this for a long time, Lindsey Williams, David Icke, Steve Quayle, and Tex Mars are by far your most important guests that you have on your show. And I would just really appreciate if you can even get them on even more, because every time they speak, they get really straight into the point, and they inform us with information of how these people are thinking and pretty much what their next steps are.
Hey, listen, I'd have David on every week or two if he'd do it. He's just very, very busy, but he has been agreeing to come on every month and a half or so. So I hope we can continue having David on. David?
Yeah, well, that would be great. Well, thanks very much, Ryan. Thanks very much for that. I'll give you an example of how things are moving on, though. I'm coming to America in about 10 days. I'm going to be there for about 2.5 months. I'm talking in Los Angeles on the 16th for 7 hours, and then I'm going down to speak in Mexico. And after that, I'm going all over the world. I'm going to Greece. I'm going to Australia. I'm going to South America, to Brazil. I'm going to Croatia. I'm going all these different places. And a few years ago, crikey, I couldn't fill a phone box in England. So this is the scale of the awakening that's going on. And, we have to, balance the things that are happening that we don't like with the fact that there is a terrific global awakening going on. Of course, it doesn't get in the mainstream media, so most people don't think it exists. But I've been to 47 countries now, and it's happening all over the world.
Well, David, I look at your website traffic. I look at my website traffic. It's all going straight up on the Google Trends. And by the way, I talked to David a month and a half ago when he was on. He's agreed to come to Austin. I'm going to set that up. It'll probably be, I have to probably talk to you in the next few days so I can go ahead and decide on a venue and set it up and get you over here for maybe a 2-day event. The problem is getting a big enough venue. You can probably get 5,000 people. I can probably get 5,000. And so, but I need to find a time that's good for you. I need to nail that down and do that here in Austin, Texas. I think that's the place to do it. So I'll let that out of the bag. David's agreed to come here and speak with myself, and he'll do his presentation. I'll do a briefer PowerPoint presentation. So that's coming up, the two of us teaming up, because we all have to come together during this critical time. I appreciate your call, Ryan. Anna in Idaho, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Anna, you're on the air.
I have to agree with the caller that was just on, Ryan. I love it when you have David Icke or Steve Quayle. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm a huge fan. I wish you could go on tour. I want to meet you in person. And that's all I wanted to say is thank you. Thank you to you and David and everything you do.
Oh, thank you very much. Whereabouts are you?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and talk to David in Montreal, Canada. You're on the air with David Icke.
Yay. How's it going? I'm very happy to finally be able to speak to you both. I'm the webmaster of criticalunity.org, and I syndicate a lot of both of your articles and videos on my site. As David mentioned, people need to take a good look at the big picture and not be intimidated by the elite's manipulation and scare tactics. The playing of the racial card is only possible because racism was indirectly created by the elites by molding our worldviews. As fascism unfolds, those who supported Obama or any of these bloodlines, they're waking up. And we will stand against the corruption no matter what they throw at us. Our world, our lives, and our freedoms are at stake here because the people have been at the mercy of the malevolent... Sorry, I'm a bit nervous, but we've been at the mercy of these malevolent powers that have taken over our planet. The people are ready to hear the truth, but as long as the majority has no opportunity to even know about Infowars, DavidIcke.com, or my site, how will they wake up?
Well, we're doing that now, sir, and I appreciate your call. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say, without even looking, I can spend 10, 15 minutes on YouTube and count up videos that people are posting of my TV show or audio, and it's over 1 million a week just with that. You know, I produce films that have been seen, what I can look on hit counters, a piece tens of millions of times on the web, and that now is the new medium, and people have made tens of millions of copies of the tens of thousands of videos I've shipped out. Same thing with David. So look at the newspapers failing. Look at mainstream media losing its ratings while alternative explodes. So the word is getting out, isn't it, David?
It is, and we're heading towards a real explosion because the curve in awakening is getting really exponential and starting to go upwards very fast. This is a great time, and you know, it's not a time to get fearful, and it's not a time to get depressed, although there are many reasons to do that.
It's a collision course. Hold on, David. We're going to skip this one, too, in the time that we have just for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. For everybody else, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Okay, David, continue with what you were saying there.
You know, the exponential curve is now heading straight upwards because as more and more people understand the basics of what are going on, they talk to more people and the whole thing expands. So you reach a point eventually when it's an explosion. And we're absolutely on the cusp of that now. In fact, we're already beginning to see some of it. So, you know, this is a wonderful time. This is not a time to get depressed and run away and try to find some, you know, some land to hide in away from everybody. This is a time to run straight at this because these people, I'm absolutely have no doubt whatsoever, are starting to panic about what's happening in terms of public awareness of their game.
If you go to Google Trends and look at DavidIcke.com, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, Rents.com, all the hundreds of huge sites, my two are the biggest individually. Infowars is the largest alternative site, Prison Planet's the second largest, and there's Rents and Icke and others. If you look at them on the trends, it looks like this. I want to zoom in on this on the PrisonPlanet.tv camera over here if we can. And this is basically what the trend looks from 2003 when they started Google Trends, tracking all the sites, to 2008. You can go pull these up on the Google Trends site. Anyone can look at this for themselves. And the curve, the growth curve is exactly the same for all of these alternative media, consciousness expanding, you know, lie breaking websites. It is hyperbolic. It is straight up, David Icke.
Yeah. So, you know, anyone that's sitting out there and is sort of frightened about doing anything or getting involved or the rest of it, you know, there are millions and millions and millions and millions of people gathering now all over the world. We just need to get together and deal with this because we're in a position now where we're heading to a time when we can. You know, I look back a few years and my goodness me, you thought, well, is anything going to change? But crikey, this is dreamland compared with where we were a few years ago.
Well, just God bless you, David. And again, I've said this the last 2 times you've been on, but people still try to make hay out of it, and you intelligently ignore it. They probably interviewed me for 3 hours off and on about you when a British crew was here for Channel 4, and the one little smart-ass thing I said ended up being in the film about you being a turd in the punch bowl because people weren't ready to accept some of the things you were saying, and then I would have trouble with the basics. And I've apologized for that, but I'm going to do it again because you've been so big about it and forgiving me. And also because I know that information is used out there still by people to try to drive a wedge. So I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, no problem, Alex. We all have different opinions at different times, and they're not always correct, and they're not always...
We all grow.
Yeah, of course we do. And what we need to do is drop the anything that divides us, any fault lines, any of this nonsense, because together we're going to sort this. Divided, we're not.
Well, I think all of us that are awakening